Hello, welcome back to our channel, Cendric Math Chat. So for today, we are going to subtract fractions from whole numbers. So let's take a look at the examples. 11 minus 4/7. So there are two ways on how you can come up with the difference of these fractions. So we can have 11 minus 4/7 and come up with the least common multiple. Use our common denominator, and since this is a whole number, it's understood that the denominator is always equal to 1. So the LCM, least common multiple of 1 and 7, is 7. So we need to rename our 11 in such a way that the denominator becomes 7. So we have to multiply, so 11 ones minus 4/7, with 7 being the LCM, we need to multiply this by 7/7. So 77 over 7 minus 4/7. And now that we have a common denominator, we can go ahead and subtract. So 77 minus 4 will give us 73 sevenths. And being that 73 sevenths is an improper fraction, we need to come up with the mixed number equivalent by dividing 73 by 7, and that is 10. And 3/7 as our difference. But again, this is not the only way on how you can come up with the difference of these two numbers. So let's take a look at the second method. So 11 minus 4/7. So we have the fraction piece and you have 11th. So your 11 is your whole number. So what we need to do is to regroup. So what do I mean by this? Let's try to break down 11. There are multiple ways on how you can write 11. So I can have this as 10. And since we're talking about sevens here, so I can rewrite this as 10 and 7/7. So 7/7, as we all know, is the same thing as 1 plus 10 will give us 11. So 10 and 7/7 minus 4/7. Now that we have fraction pieces, let's work with this. 7/7 minus 4/7 will give us 3/7. Then just copy our whole number 10, so our answer is 10 and 3/7. Let's take a look at example number 2. Let's have 14 minus 2 and 2/5. So let's use the regrouping method here. So, but again, if you want to make this into improper fractions, it's fine. There's multiple ways on how you can get from A through Z. So I have 14 here minus 2 and 2/5. So what I need to do is to have a fraction out of this 14. I'm going to rename this. And since the unit here is fifths, so I need to have fifths from this whole number 14. So I'm going to rewrite this as 13 and 5/5 minus 2 and 2/5. Next step is work with the whole numbers and the fractions separately. So 13 minus 2 gives us 11. 5/5 minus 2/5 is 3/5. So our difference is 11 and 3/5. Example number 3. 8 and 3/8 minus 5 and 5/8. So they're both mixed numbers. First, let's take a look at our fractions. So we have 3/8 And we also have 5/8. We are lucky that denominators are the same. We're talking about similar fractions, like fractions. So if I take away 5/8 from 3/8, I'll end up with negative, which we don't want to go in there yet. So I know though that I have my 8 whole number here. So I can rename again my 8. So with 8's here, with my 8 whole number, I can rewrite this as 7 and 8/8. I know that I have 3/8 here. So 7 and 8/8 is just basically my 8. And I know that I still have my 3/8. Therefore, I can have this as 7, 8/8, and 3/8 will give me a total of 11/8. So what we're trying to say is 7 and 11/8 is equivalent to 8 and 3/8 minus 5 and 5/8. Just go ahead and work with whole numbers and the fractions separately. So 7 minus 5 will give us 2. 11/8 minus 5/8 will give us 6/8. And we can reduce this as 2 and 3/4. So that is how you can subtract fractions from whole numbers.